We are live. Hello and welcome everyone. Hope everyone is having a good Friday. And by Friday means I am joined by what most would refer to as my better half. How are you, Curly?
I'm doing good, Circle. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Pretty glad this week's coming to an end.
You know that's right.
And next week is Christmas, so woohoo!
Woohoo!
Actually,
Christmas!
It's a week from today.
Santa Claus is coming to town.
And tomorrow night we see Star Wars hype.
Yay! That'll be fun.
Definitely. Welcome everyone. We're gonna be playing. We're gonna continue our little Law and Order Legacies playthrough. We're on episode 4, I believe. There's 7, I think. So we got a few more. This is a fun game. I like this game.
Yeah.
I might have not been the biggest fan of the last episode, the Killer Smart. It was alright. That was so far the best.
Yes, that's been that one.
by
Best one
far.
so far.
And that one was fun.
Yes.
Alright, so what's this one called? So episode 4. Oh god. Definitely gonna be SVU all up.
Yeah, right.
Alright, nobody's
It's
child.
a heinous crime, so
Heinous.
heinous.
In the criminal justice system, the people are represented by 2 separate yet equally important groups: the police who investigate crime and the district attorneys who prosecute the offenders. These are their stories.
Hey Longfellow, how are you?
Hey, Longfellow.
Welcome. Happy Friday. How's your Friday going? Oh man.
That doesn't look
Hell,
Nope,
kid, it
that's
ain't
it.
even midnight yet. You're jumping the gun. Tourist shit. Well, every little bit helps.
I'm just taking his hat.
What? It's not like you're gonna use it. What do you expect me to do? Cry over your little broken body? Call the cops? It's not like they're gonna give 2 craps. Not with everything else that's going down.
We care. I think they'd care about a kid being killed.
Okay, damn it. Don't say I never did nothing for you.
It's all Star Wars, so I can watch Twitch again. Good move, Longfellow. Yeah, we're actually we're set up to see it tomorrow night.
Took you long enough.
We're excited.
Yeah, well,
Great
I had to put
seats
on
at
my
a great
face.
theater.
Wanted to look my best for the big party.
I was surprised the seats were
Midnight.
still available, to be honest with you.
Welcome to the new millennium.
Looks a lot like the old millennium.
I'm going to say blunt force trauma to the head.
I would say that's a good guess.
I don't want to jump the gun for whatever the coroner's name is, but Carruthers? Is it Carruthers on
Some-
Law and Order?
There was
I've
a
seen
few
so many
different ones,
shows
so
with
yeah.
coroners in it.
Yeah.
Like I watch a lot of shows with coroners in it.
Well, there's also was a few different ones.
Yeah, there has
so,
been.
yeah.
I think Carruthers was one at one point. Oh, Adam Schiff's in this one.
Oh, nice. Yeah, they're not going to get his voice
Where's
right.
the,
No.
She got called away. Assistant should be here with the body bag anytime.
Poor little kid. He doesn't look more than 12 years old.
At least it's an episode with Lenny.
Severe internal hemorrhaging. Broken
Yeah, so
radius,
true.
multiple
We love Lenny.
contusions.
Somebody beat him with a baseball bat?
Nah, something with a sharper edge. Check out the gash across his scalp. He's also got a burn mark on his hand.
Ooh.
Definitely from a taser, and definitely
Oh.
fresh.
Time of death?
Hey,
Around
Spud.
eight,
How are
probably.
ya?
Hey,
Body's pretty
Spud.
stiff.
How you doing?
No ID,
How's
nothing
it
in his
going today, man?
pockets. See the ring around the top
Hopefully
of
you
his
got
head where his hair
working
is plastered
electronics
down?
and boilers
That
today.
hair. He was
And
wearing a
internet.
cap earlier today. I've heard of kids getting killed for their shoes, but their hats? What about the bag?
Empty.
Why would he be holding an empty bag?
Hey, detectives.
Hey,
I caught this
JJ,
guy
how are
hanging
you?
around outside the alley. Elijah
Hey,
the
JJ.
Prophet.
You know him?
Sure.
Hope you're having a
Picked
good
him up
Friday
at
as
5
well.
for disturbing the peace. Found him standing on his shopping cart outside
Exhausted.
the Schubert,
all
ranting
good,
about
Spud.
Y2K.
Every time you fall asleep, we have a great
I
episode.
was
so
just
go ahead.
telling the people what the puppet masters don't want them to know.
All right. Okay, homeless guy with the hat. Where'd you get the hat? It's got blood on it. We're definitely going to be asking you about that. All right, tell me about the body.
Why don't you tell me what you know about the dead kid over there?
I'm the one who reported the murder, okay? I'm the good guy here.
Yeah? Well, before I put in for your Good Citizenship Award, you gotta tell me, what did you take from the body?
What? Do I look like a grave robber? I didn't take nothing.
Can Briscoe refute this? Yeah, I think so.
I'm thinking.
With the bloody hat you're wearing, you idiot. Alright, I like it. Starting us off with some easy ones. I like that. Yeah, exactly. Boom. I didn't even read the other ones. They were probably funny, though.
That cap doesn't fit you so well.
It shrank in the wash.
Or maybe you swiped it off the kid.
All right, all right.
Like,
He
dude,
was
you haven't
through
seen a
using
wash
before.
in
Yeah, come on.
ages.
Now let me go. I gotta get over to the Lincoln.
Hey,
Company.
Pig.
Go
Hey,
protect my
Pig,
stockpile
how are
from
you?
looters.
Babe.
Hey, you trying to steal my man?
Uh-oh, Pig. She's on to us. Y2K? What
the hell? That's
about Y2K?
I don't know. There was something about that earlier, though, like the
Oh.
millennium or something or other.
I should pay attention.
Yes,
more.
I know. That's part of our problem with this.
Yeah, it is. It is.
It's all right.
All right, what else?
I want you to turn over everything you took off the kid. Now.
I'm homeless, officer. Everything I own is on me. So go ahead, search.
Is Elijah telling the truth? All right, so hold on. Let's back it up a little bit.
Oh, you already stole him. Uh-oh. That's no good.
I really call it cause. Oh no, yeah, well, I put my face. I'm just making sure I know what's going on.
Yeah, that's cool. At least one of us needs to, because I don't really right now.
Okay, so yeah, they welcome to the new millennium. So I guess they're dating it around 2000.
Okay.
Severe internal hemorrhaging, broken radius, multiple contusions. That might be important. Beat him with a baseball bat. No, sharper edge.
It has a burn mark, so.
Yeah, I remember
From a
that.
taser.
So he was
Okay.
killed around 8. No ID, nothing in his pockets. Okay, so that's, yeah, hat hair. Oh, we knew he had a hat. Elijah the Prophet is this guy's name.
It's always those crunch bars.
Full size, damn.
Gets them every
You
time.
don't know what I'll do for a full size crunch bar.
Woo.
And a bag of them, damn.
Oh, my. Well, I know what I'm
picked him
getting
up
you
at
for
5.
Christmas, baby.
Picked him up at 5 for disturbing the peace. Found him standing on his shopping cart outside the Schubert, ranting about Y2K. I want them. Why don't you tell me? I'm the one who reported him around. I'm the good guy. Yeah, man. Great. Cap doesn't fit. Alright. He wasn't using it though, was he? I'm gonna protect my stockpile from looters. Alright, no, I have nothing that. Yeah, I think he is.
Wait, everything. No, he has the hat. Everything he
I
owns.
seem to
like-
recall you saying something about a stockpile.
Nobody gets near my stockpile. I'm a citizen. I got a constitutional right to my stuff. It's there in the Fourth Amendment, Pig.
I'll have to read it sometime.
That is a special
Meanwhile,
perfume.
You're
Pig.
still the
Oh,
most
that's
likely
awesome.
suspect in this case.
Lucky Boone didn't find you. Alright, did you see who murdered the kid?
Okay, buddy, tell the truth. Did you do this?
Oh, he did
Kill
come
the
up.
kid, you mean? You think I killed the kid and then turned around and reported it? Do I look crazy?
Well,
Alibi.
So, where were you at 8 o'clock this evening?
Enjoying the hospitality of the 5th Precinct. I was in the holding tank.
Yes, we do, because we... the officer told us he picked him up at 4 for whatever it was.
gotcha.
He's too intimidated. He rode to the scene with...
Yeah.
Cop.
Cop meant be cop.
Yep. There you go. Good job, detective.
That true?
Yeah, he was released about 8:30.
Yeah, I guess that clears you.
Time to put the screws to Prophet Elijah. Now, every time previously we've
Right.
said no here, we've been wrong. I think.
Right.
So we're going to say yes.
Why not?
All right. 5 out of 5.
Look, I can take you down to the station right now and let the jackbooted thugs work you over. Or you can take me to your stockpile. Which is it gonna be?
I'm not scared of you. Come the stroke of midnight, your police state's gonna collapse like a rotten jack-o'-lantern.
And Briscoe proved that Elijah is mistaken. Alright, this is hard. I'm not scared of you. Alright. Take you down to the station right now and let the jackbooted thug, or you can tell me what your stock, which is it going to be? And what's the question? And Briscoe proved that Elijah is mistaken
What
about
the-
Y2K?
About Y2K. I know.
have
That's what I
no
thought. I'm
idea.
like, why?
I don't think so. I don't think so. No.
I don't. Not that I.
Oh, come on.
what?
This is ridiculous.
I
What are
hate
you
to burst
asking
your
me
bubble,
to
Mr.
do?
Prophet, but it's already after midnight.
Oh.
Should have known it would be off. Stupid tourist junk. But I don't get it. The system's supposed to be crashing. How come the streetlights are still on?
We have this super secret emergency backup system.
Damn you guys. You think of everything.
Now, should I call the station and have them charge up the cattle prods?
No, that won't be necessary. Follow me.
Then we
There's
started
my
really drinking.
stockpile. Stuff I got from the kids' bag is in the bundle on top.
Fosse program, Annie get your gun sweatshirt, cabaret mugs, 1 ticket to Aida. Hey, a credit card receipt.
Yeah, that ought to get us somewhere.
Alright, we can gain bonus stars.
I know.
Still got excellent work. No red herrings. So we're good. We're good. I just like to see that.
Yes,
I'm alright
that's
with
true.
the bonus program. I didn't do bonus work in school.
And the credit card people told you right where I was staying?
Unless I had to.
They had a record of the hotel charge, Mrs. Tallis, and the hotel confirmed you're booked through the end of the week.
Amazing. You managed to recover my stolen bag when I didn't even report the crime.
That's the networked world for you.
And here I thought all the networks were going to be down today.
For God's sake.
We're investigating the murder of the thief, and we'd like to ask you a
It
few
was so
questions.
crazy
if that's
back
okay.
It was.
Hilarious.
It was. I remember
As
being
long
at
as
a
you
New
miss
Year's
curtain
Eve
time.
party
We're
on
catching Dame Edna
at
tonight.
at the Millennium.
Yeah, I forget where
We
I
were all
was.
like, we were just completely hammered. So it was like, whatever. I don't really care if the lights go on.
Yeah, I have no idea where I was. I forget where I was at some party somewhere. Alright. Where was the bag stolen?
Can you tell us where the bag was stolen?
It was on 42nd Street, about 4:30. I was just coming from the half-price ticket booth, very pleased with myself. I'd managed to snag the very last ticket to a preview of Aida. I felt a tug, and before I knew what was what, there he was, zipping away with my bag.
So you wouldn't be able to ID him.
I'm afraid I didn't see his face, just his backside.
Alright, let's check. She was checking out his backside.
Yeah.
Alright, so at the end of that last one, he said what was in the thing. Let's talk about stuff I got from the kid's bag in the bundle on top. Fosse program, Annie, get your gun sweatshirt, cabaret mugs, 1 ticket to Aida, credit card receipt. Alright, so that got us to the chick. And she said the Aida thing.
Mm-hmm.
I just think of it. Idea felt tugging me for a minute. Away with the bag.
42nd Street, about 4:30.
It seems okay, right? Because he was dead at 8, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or no, he's killed it.
They said around 8, time of death.
Around 8,
Yeah.
okay, around 8. Alright, seems good. Nice. I'm very hesitant to say
I
yes
know.
or no in this stuff. Beat cops report matches Miss Tell's story. Bag had a ticket to Aida.
Yep.
Hotel firms late for happy hour. Surveillance camera recorded the crime.
Yeah.
That would have been awesome. Ooh, new topics.
Is this everything that was stolen?
Here's a photo of the merchandise we recovered from the shopping cart. Do you see everything that was in your bag?
I think so, yes. Aha! So that's where my ticket to Aida went. I emptied out my handbag looking for that son of a gun. Had to miss the... Wait. Statue of Liberty.
Come again?
There was a model of the Statue of Liberty, about yay high. It had a marble base with a clock in it.
Bran Manet and Cherry 8. That sounds gross.
Oh, ugh.
Does she seem to be telling the truth? There was a model of the Statue
Oh.
of Liberty. Yay high, that marble base. I have a
It
feeling
was something sharper. That's what he was killed with.
I have a feeling that's what he was killed with. And we did not find that. Okay. She seems to be telling the
I
truth.
guess, yeah.
Chris method. Okay. The owner was found to see the crime. How do I know?
Oh, did that guy? Because that was what the... Because remember he looked at the clock? When he told him, it's after midnight? Did it have a marble base? Had something with a clock attached to it, but...
Yeah, I don't know. Alright, let's see.
It wasn't found at the crime scene, so...
Yeah, it definitely wasn't at the crime scene. It's not in our thing. Reports, I guess.
Sure.
I don't really care.
How come you didn't report the crime?
Well, I mean, it was New Year's Eve. I'm sure the police had their hands full just keeping the peace.
So it was a courtesy to us?
Well, that and, I'm flying back to St. Louis tonight, and what can I say? I guess I just chalked it up as a loss.
I don't like the way they're wording it. Flying back to St. Louis tonight, what can I say? Just chalked up the loss. Was there a plane ticket? No.
And the hotel confirmed you're booked through the end of the week.
Back. I thought I remembered something about through the end of the week. No, it's
So
not.
no.
We rock.
I tell ya. Hey, Chris. How are ya?
Hey, Chris. How'd finals go, man? I think he had his last final the other day.
Oh, really? Oh, that always...
It's about that time. It's December.
Yeah.
18th. I think this is
Oh,
the
God.
last...
Yeah, I remember it well. That was always hell.
Yeah, that was rough weeks.
Exams were rough.
Especially if you had a bunch in a day.
Yes. Oh, God. Yeah, that's rough. I was always so glad to be done with exams.
What?
Oh, that's good. Glad they went well.
Did she mention she was seeing Dame Edna tonight?
Yeah, we're
As long as I don't miss curtain time, we're catching Dame Edna tonight. She did. Okay. Yeah. Finals went well. Awesome.
Leaving tonight?
Good job.
You're cutting the trip short?
I thought you were seeing Dame Edna.
Oh, that's right. Today's only Tuesday. You see? You've got me all flustered.
What brought you to New York?
The Millennium, of course.
It's not the Millennium back in St. Louis?
Well, of course. But this is where the action is. My friends and I are part of a theater society, the Looky-Loos. We make a Broadway trek once a year, usually in the fall. But this time around, we decided to wait a bit, so we could be part of all the fun in Times Square.
Interesting. Alibi?
Mrs. Tallis, where were you at 8 o'clock last night?
Was that the time of the murder? Are you asking me for my alibi?
If you don't mind.
Not at all. This is just like that TV show. Wait till the girls hear about this.
Mrs. Tallis.
I was at Aida, of course, with the other Looky-Loo ladies.
How'd you get in without the ticket?
Yeah.
Yes.
Ticket
Yeah,
stolen.
ticket was among the stolen items. She's trying to pull a fast one.
Tell
on us.
ya. Play that
Wait,
sweet old lady
wasn't
act.
your ticket one of the things that was stolen?
Yes, and it was the last one available. You caught me, detectives. Truth is, since I couldn't get in, I ended up killing time. Just milling about
I
with
thought
the
she
New
was going
Year's
to say
crowds.
killing the boy.
I was waiting for the show to be over so I could meet up with the group and hear about it. I don't think it's going to run long.
Describe the thief.
Did you get a good look at the thief?
Oh, not really. It all happened so fast.
Try to remember. You may have been the last person to see him alive.
Oh, dear. He was just a boy, poor thing. Brown hair. I think he was wearing a sports jersey of some sort. It had a logo on the front of, you know, that team that plays the game with the ball.
Oh, jeez. She only looked at his back, and she said it was on the front.
It's not consistent. You're right. She only saw his backside. I remember that.
She said she only saw him from
Oh, the
behind.
boy from behind. She claimed that she's extremely interested. Good job, detective.
You saw the logo on the boy's jersey while he was
Rocking this
running
act
away?
I tell ya.
Oh, well, no, what I mean is, I recognize the team colors.
Which are?
You know, green and gold.
What are you not telling us, Mrs. Tallis?
Well, I suppose I did see a bit more of the boy than I let on. I got into a bit of a tussle with him before he got away.
Oh!
Okay. A tussle.
Oh.
Can,
Like when you smacked him over the head with the clock of the Statue of Liberty?
Is that what we're defining a tussle
Yeah, is that
as?
a tussle now?
You got into a tussle.
You
I'm
beat
not
him with your
entirely
purse?
naive, you know. I'm well aware how rough the streets of Manhattan can be, especially on New Year's Eve. Let's just say I came prepared.
May I?
Oh,
I
she
feel
also
just
had the
awful about
taser.
it now.
Oh,
Knowing
the
what happened
taser.
to the boy, you know, after. But, well, it was the instinct of self-preservation kicking in.
Well, from the looks of it, your instincts are quite healthy, Mrs. Tallis. Did you go after the thief with any of these weapons?
Whoa.
Of course not. He was just a child. I'd never risk
She's
hurting a
lying.
child.
Mm-hmm.
Lying. She's lying.
Liar, liar, pants on fire!
Lying through her chiclets.
There's a taser burn.
You know it. Said her policy was to take out anyone who threatened her or her
Jeez.
property. Struck with a blackjack?
I don't even know what that is.
Traces
Like,
of- I know. I thought he was playing
you're struck
cards
with a
for
card
minute.
game? What?
You got the best hand.
I
right?
know. 21.
Good job.
We found a taser burn on the boy's hand.
Did you? Yes, I suppose I may have tased him. Not badly, mind you. Just a little mini
Sheesh.
tase. Enough to knock him down.
Oh, a
Oh,
mini
mini
tase.
tase.
We
Because that has a power
Buddy got
level
Right.
thing
children
on
are
it.
slippery.
My goodness. Not like I'm like feeling bad for the kid or whatever. I should. If you try to steal my purse, I'd tase your ass too.
Yeah. But something happened. She's lying.
But yeah, she's
every
yeah,
step
she's,
of the way.
Yes, totally.
Still hiding something.
Mrs. Tallis, how would you like front row tickets to a new drama? It's playing down at the Manhattan Criminal Court building.
Now, wait a minute, detective. You don't seriously think...
But you're holding something back? Yes. So why don't you hand it over?
Set tasers to tussle.
It's the boy's backpack. I pulled it off him when we were, you know,
Tussling.
right. I said to him, give me my
Just a
bag
little
and
bit
I'll
of a
give you
tussle.
yours. But he just took off without it. I
It's
guess
not the
he
word
was
of the day.
scared.
Yeah.
And why didn't you tell us this at the start?
Take a look inside.
We're gonna tussle
You'll
later,
see his
maybe.
trinkets are considerably more valuable than mine.
Tussle you.
I figured I got the better deal in the exchange. And it would have made such a great punchline to my story.
Wow.
Alrighty then.
We rock. Look at that.
We do good work, detective.
Damn right. We increased our detective rank.
Quite an assortment we got here.
Looks like our victim had a busy day.
Yeah, but is any of this stuff gonna get us closer to an ID?
All right.
It's time to circle some objects. Gotta circle.
I'll circle. Yeah, we know how to do this. It's not our first rodeo. So we need
not
a
our
comic
first
digest,
circling.
a personal item, an illegal substance, and a ticket.
A personal item? Yeah,
I
that's
know.
descript.
How do we know it's personal? All right.
Comic
let's just look
digest.
For the two.
All right.
Those two first. Then we'll deal with
Ticket.
the other ones.
Ticket and a digest.
All right. There's the comic digest.
Check it out. Little Gloomy Comics Digest.
What's the resale value on that, do you think?
And that has what to do with anything?
I
guess
don't
it reads
know.
comics. Is that what we're going for?
I guess. Is the ticket underneath a bottle? Is that what that is on that thing?
What's it look like?
Or no, is it
It
that?
looks
Oh
like
no, I
that.
think it's right behind. Is it that?
That one?
That one
no,
or that?
that's
No.
definitely not that.
Oh, okay.
Kind of looks like that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right.
Ann March handbag. Deborah would kill for one of these. Not that she's ever going to get one on my salary. Top of the world ticket. Time stamped 2 o'clock on the 25th.
So his mom took him to the top of the World Trade Center for Christmas?
Or maybe he took himself up, so he could collect his own Christmas presents from all the tourists while they were busy gawking out the window.
You're a cynic, Curtis, but you're probably right.
Probably.
Yes.
All right. So now we need a personal item and an illegal substance. Okay, I'm gonna guess the illegal substance. Maybe that's
Maybe.
like a Discman. Is that what that is?
I know, it's what it looks like. It looks like yeah, it does. Oh, that's
That's what it looks like to me.
yeah.
It looks
And
like a
back then it
Discman.
would have been. That was
Yeah.
before the iPod and all that. So
That's just like a can. That's a crushed can.
it looks like a potato. I don't know what the hell
Either
that
that
is.
or it's a-
Package or something.
It could be a package of dope.
Oh, true.
See what that is.
Pastrami on rye.
I
Oh,
recognize the sticker. Those are from that deli on 45th and Broadway.
Oh, that's the personal item.
oh, all right.
Oh, no, it's not.
Oh.
Just took it away.
Oh.
Said, nope, you're wrong.
Nope.
This is like some perfect. That could be the personal item. It's possible.
It's Ode to Nestle Crunch. That's what it is.
It is in the blue.
That's
the
true.
Nestle Crunch blue. It's got a little purple at the bottom though. I don't know if he hides his drug. You can't really hide drugs in a Discman.
Unless it's just a case, like the case. I don't know. It looks like it though.
Like it's a fake thing or something. What's not in the sunglasses?
Is it in there? I don't
Maybe.
know.
Let's look in here.
Change purse.
Oh, there's some 20s in here. Somebody had a sad New Year's Eve.
All right, so it's not that. We do have 5 left, so
Okay.
we're in pretty good shape because I'm pretty sure it's not any of the sunglasses.
I don't think so.
Let's do this. It
Yeah.
just looks like something that needs to be.
Yeah.
sold.
Giles Breton's passion juice. I don't even want to take a whiff of that.
There
Oh.
we go.
Look at this, look at this.
It's gonna be what, 3 grams of crack?
No, I think it's methamphetamine.
Times are changing. Think the kid smoked it?
More likely he was transporting it for somebody.
Why couldn't the kid be doing it? Maybe
I
he
know.
was doing
That's
it.
weird.
All right, now we need the personal item. So it's probably the.
Probably.
What's playing on
Maybe.
the Discman? Ricky Martin. That's what
Ricky
comes a little
Martin.
Vita Loca. You don't notice the sneak thieves.
Love it.
Awesome. All right, so that was not it.
Okay,
Oh
two
wait,
more.
what is this? That looks. Is that something he drew?
Maybe.
Wonder Woman, where are you?
If the kid drew that, he's pretty good. A cry for help?
To a superhero? He could at least learn how to spell Wonder Woman.
Okay, so that's the first.
Hey, what's that?
Voucher for a free lunch at the 9th Avenue Community Center.
And it's from a child welfare agency. Good Shepherd. Turn it over.
Bingo.
Aaron Bauer.
Boom.
Dun dun dun.
Target guesses. We took 9.
Yeah.
Bonus.
Good Shepherd. Name sounds familiar. Catholic agency?
Yeah, I'm calling him right now. This is Detective
On
Ray
my
Curtis of the
Nokia.
27th Precinct.
Yeah.
I've got some information about someone.
God,
Minor.
I remember my
I
Nokia.
believe he may be a client of
Everybody
yours.
has
Yeah,
Nokia.
like everybody
Name's
had that.
Aaron
phone.
Bauer. Yes. Oh,
That's that guy. What's his name? Montrose.
Montrose?
What's the movie
Stephen
that's
Montrose.
from? Oh,
He's
is
the
it?
director down
Oh,
there. Wrote that
shoot.
book that made a
Is it
big
like
splash
Taken?
down
Is
the
it
screen.
Saw?
The Empty High Chair.
Sure. I've seen him.
Was
on
there a
talk
phone
shows.
in that?
He's always
Maybe.
going
Forget.
on about.
About how the child welfare system breaks up families.
No, it was
Scream.
inside. Yeah, it was
His
in.
agency
What?
keeps
Yeah,
doing
wasn't
tons
it
of good
inside?
things.
It was also.
And the
Wasn't
boy's
it something
case file
like?
as well.
Was it some movie with a shark or something?
a
And it
lot.
was inside, like Sharknado.
Oh, maybe.
Was that
maybe,
it?
Maybe.
That
I
That
can't
wasn't. It was
remember.
the second
Arrange a meeting at the
Sharknado
Legacy in
because
3
it ate
hours.
the cell phone, and then that's how they could hear it.
Oh no, it was in Jurassic.
Oh, that's right. It was
Was it in the
Jurassic
Jurassic
World. Yeah,
World?
that's right.
Was it-
I was like, I
That's
knew it was
Aaron,
something to do with an
alright.
Was it
animal.
World?
You're the case
I think it was
worker?
Jurassic World. I
From the
wasn't it?
start.
I think it was in Lost World.
Oh,
Who
maybe.
are they?
I don't know.
This is Detective
it was in
Briscoe
Lost World.
and Detective Curtis.
Cops.
Oh my.
You
Woo.
didn't tell me there was
Wow.
gonna be cops here.
Sit down, Mrs. Bauer.
We were not paying attention to anything.
No.
How did we get to this lady?
I don't know.
Oh, it's
It's his mom. Yeah.
Okay.
It was.
All right, wait a minute. I have to. I can't even spell it. There we go. I have to trigger it myself. We weren't paying attention.
Oh.
I've been told 20 times.
Oh.
Pay attention. The counter goes up each time.
Oh, that's funny.
Mrs. Bauer, there's no easy way to say this. I'm afraid your son Aaron is dead.
He's just messing with you. He's playing possum. He always does that. He makes believe.
I'm sorry, Mrs.
Okay.
Bauer. We found his
Nope.
body last night. Severe head trauma. We're afraid
Give
that
me a break, okay? Where is he really? You just want to put him back in City Youth Home. That place is a hellhole.
We're trying to figure out who did this to him, and we need you to answer some questions.
Yeah? Shoot.
Shoot. She seems alright about this.
Yeah, I don't. Alrighty then.
Alright, last scene.
Sure.
Can you tell us when you last saw Aaron?
He was gone when I woke up. Oh, probably off at the arcade. I
Hi,
was sleeping late,
Kurt.
so sue me, right?
Hello, Kurt.
Last night was New Year's
How are
Eve.
you? Hope your
We
Friday
know,
is
but
going well.
when did you see your son?
9 o'clock. That's his bedtime. I tucked him in.
I'm almost positive it does not match the end.
Yeah, because he died at like 8 o'clock. So.
Yeah, exactly. The time of death is established as 8. So you tucked in a dead body at 9 o'clock? Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah,
Mrs.
a
Bauer,
dead body that was
Aaron
your
was
kid.
killed at
Yeah.
8.
I told you, that's just pretend.
How are you doing, Kurt?
Backpack, I guess?
We found your son's backpack, and that's what led us to you. Some items in it lead us to suspect that he was involved in criminal activities.
Bullshit! My Aaron's a good boy. He ain't the type to do drugs.
Something suspicious?
yeah.
Yeah, she looks like a crack addict.
Yeah, and we found drugs on your kid, so I'm kind of thinking.
Yes.
I think there's a lot suspicious about him.
Curtis didn't mention drugs. Coke to the gills. Aaron had already been arrested once on drugs. But is he already arrested once?
Maybe.
So we just found it at the end of this, right? Yeah, Aaron Bauer. Okay, so that's a whole. He lived with his markers because she could randomly date in 3 hours. Alright. We have no idea. I didn't mean to pick that.
Oh.
I didn't mean to click. My finger just
We
did
didn't
its
say
thing.
anything about drugs.
Oh. What's the beating? I guess beating the
Oh
kid.
yeah.
Was there anyone who wished your son harm who might have beat him?
Oh, he's gonna get a beating, I tell you what. He knows damn well what comes of pulling stunts like this. Yeah, he's gonna get it good.
Mrs. Bauer, did Aaron have any enemies?
Enemies? No. He's just a kid.
No.
No.
No, it does not.
Oh, that sounds like fun, Kurt. We used to have a Mustang. That's my favorite car. Love Mustangs.
Yep, she was easy getting her pants with that Mustang.
But you don't gotta give away all my secrets now. Come on.
That's how I won her. Actually, I didn't have the Mustang.
No, you didn't actually. No, you had a Jeep Wrangler actually.
Yeah,
that was fun though. That was a fun car. But no, I love that Mustang. I was so sad when we sold the Mustang. Oh, that was sad.
Spud, please. I don't even know what we're doing here. Enemies? No, he's just a kid. It did not contain a threatening letter. All kids have enemies. Statement has implied she's beaten Aaron in the past.
Yes.
Oh yeah, she does. Yeah, we had it was a 2000, it was the last one of the old body style. It was a 2003, I think. Or 2002 or something. Yeah, it was last year before they redesigned, and I didn't like the redesign too much, although I haven't looked at it in a while. Yeah. I always wanted to own 3 cars in my life: a Jeep Wrangler, a Mustang, and a '67 Vet. So I got 2 out of 3. And that third one's not gonna happen.
Not before I get my Shelby Cobra.
We almost bought the Shelby.
I know that would. Oh yeah, we were really close, but no, that would have just been wrong.
So she did imply she gives some beatings. So that's the answer, I think. Her statement implies she's beaten him in the past.
Wait a minute. You ain't New York City.
Oh,
cops
that's
at all.
fun.
Yeah, exactly, Spud.
You're from Russell County.
And it'd be tough for me to hit the jackpot since I don't play.
You goddamn kidnappers ain't gonna get away with this. You're not taking him again. I'll kill you.
What's going on here?
He's my baby. He's my baby.
I did always want and later on in life I wanted a BMW M5.
Of course.
That's still a possibility at some point. Or a BMW, I wouldn't mind a BMW 3 Series either. They're pretty cool, but I would love an M5. Alright, we didn't do too bad. We missed 1, but we increased our detective rank, so woohoo!
Woohoo!
Only car you ever wanted was a Ferrari F4. That's a sweet car too.
Oh yeah, you can't go wrong with a Ferrari,
Stefan
really,
Matros,
especially
General Director of
I
Good
live the more
Shepherd.
classic style
Would
like
you
that.
mind explaining what just happened at my office?
You just interfered with a murder investigation.
Is Jenna Bauer a suspect?
Jenna Bauer is the mother.
Oh, I see.
But I'm not even close
This
to midlife.
agency was
Remember,
set
I'm
up to
immortal.
serve the needs of at-risk families, those whom the other agencies have abandoned to poverty and addiction.
We
You
understand.
have to get it
But
custom,
do
Kurt.
You've just come steamrolling in and hit one of my clients with about the most
If basketball
devastating
players
news you can
can fit in a
imagine.
Ferrari
But instead of
F40,
leaving
so
her
can
to her
you.
grief, you turn around and give her the 3rd degree, like she was a common criminal. Not in my office, detectives, not here.
Yeah,
I'm
I'd love to
sorry
see
you don't
Shaquille
approve of
O'Neal
our
fold
technique,
himself into a
Dr.
F4.
I'm familiar with the boy's case history. I can answer your questions.
Alright. I didn't really listen to much of what this guy was saying.
Nope, me neither.
I was reading chat. Sounds like Lee from Walking Dead. Yeah, they probably use a lot of the same voice actors. Which reminds me, we're gonna be playing Walking Dead soon. I think I'm gonna play that with you.
That's cool.
Possibly. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I don't know, Russell
What
County.
was Mrs. Bauer yelling about when you came in?
Something about us being from Russell County. Come to take her kid.
Can't help you with that one. My knowledge of the Bauers only goes back 2 years. That's when they arrived in New York. Jenna was living on the street when Good Shepherd first intervened, about 6 months later. The legal machine had shunted the boy off to City Youth Home. We successfully fought
But
to
I'd
get
ask
mother
you
and son
how
back
you know
together.
what rubber tastes like.
So you
but
see,
we'll just roll with
Jenna
that.
Bauer does have some cause for feeling less
I bet
than
you're
friendly
still
toward
eating
the
it,
police.
though. I have no idea if the story corroborates the evidence.
I don't even
The
know.
legal machine had shunted the boy off the City Youth Home. We successfully fought to get mother and son back together. So you see, Jenna Bauer does have some cause for feeling less than friendly towards the police. It seems good. Good. Yeah, that one was deserved. I'll give you that. Case switching over Bowers for a year and a half. Meal voucher date was July '98. Barely to the City Youth Home. So it's either the caseworker or the meal voucher date. When did we talk to the caseworker?
Back at the beginning of the mother, I think.
That's just with Van Buren.
Yeah.
Oh, Miss Schuyler.
Yeah. She didn't really have.
Yeah, she didn't really.
She just kind of like introduced the cops, basically. She didn't really say anything.
Yeah, I don't think she said anything. Meal voucher. For a free lunch at the 9th Avenue Community Center. Yeah, it didn't give us a year or anything on it.
Something was time. The top of the world thing was.
It was time stamped, but they're talking
yeah,
about the
but
meal
no,
voucher
right.
date. Mrs. Bauer must have alluded to the fact that he was in there. I mean, that has to be it. Give me a break. Where is he? You just want to put him back in City Youth.
Oh.
Boom. Boom. We'll
Good.
detective it out. Don't you worry. I have to read that entire transcript again. How about the case file?
When's the last time the Bowers caseworker paid a visit? Do you know?
Of course. Miss Schuyler filed a visitation report on Christmas Day.
We'll need to see the case file, of course.
I'm sorry, that's not possible.
But Spud, it's
This
not
is a
'cause
murder
I'm
investigation,
because
Dr.
Curly's
Montrose.
so beautiful.
The files contain
Only
some
look
sensitive
at her and not pay
material from
attention to
several
speed.
years ago, in another state.
My baby's too
I
sweet.
assure you nothing remotely relevant to the current tragedy.
And I know what you want. That's why you're saying it, but that's okay.
Has Montrose contradicted himself? Probably. Several years ago. You only met him 2.
Mm-hmm. But the file could have information from before he knew it.
Maybe. Yeah, he has. Yeah. He always say he knows nothing of the Bowers' life before they came. That's what he said.
Yes.
I knew I heard that.
I thought you didn't know anything about the Bowers before they came to New York.
Nothing relevant, I meant. Am I a suspect now, too?
Hey, classics are classics for a reason.
Cheesy. Cheesy's only cheesy when it doesn't work. Turn over the files, dude. Give them.
Dr. Montrose, I've got to insist that you follow procedure and turn over the Bauer case file.
You should have called a head detective. Procedure dictates that you give us at least 2 hours advanced warning.
Don't make me tussle with you.
This is a valid objection.
That's kind of.
No.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I just wanted to say no.
I know. No.
Oh, did he?
Oh, I don't know.
Believe me. Yes, I'll hold. And we'll need the boys' case file as well. Thanks a lot. I don't know what time this was, but I'm gonna assume it was a while ago.
Yeah.
Damn.
I put in a request when I phoned the caseworker.
Well, I wasn't informed.
Why are you putting
I got
that
scars for
in
days.
with us?
Tough. But I know what happens when you partner with the city. They tell you they're only going to see that you follow state guidelines, but it's really a pretext for legal action. They'd love to take Good Shepherd away from me.
Well, I thought Good Shepherd was run by the Archdiocese.
The same goes double for them. I stay away from all bureaucrats, sacred and secular.
You know we can get a court order.
You can, but you won't. I've fought the city many times, Detective. It's a powerful adversary, but it hates to look bad in public. I know how to make it look bad. That's how I've bought the space to run my agency my way.
Your private kingdom.
Call it what you will.
Alrighty.
Okay.
Illicit activities.
Aaron was involved in some shady business. There were drugs in his backpack.
Crystal
He
meth.
had drugs.
Is there any possibility that he or his mother...
No. Our clients don't abuse drugs.
It's a youth home, dude. Yes, there's a reason. Monsters himself abuses.
Oh my
drugs.
god.
Vampire and Santa Maja, a bunch of tweakers. He was high on something. It's one of these things. He already said it or something.
Set up to serve the needs of at-risk families.
Look at some other.
An addiction.
You just come to see me on. Oh, have abandoned to poverty and
Addiction.
addiction.
Have abandoned to poverty and addiction.
Do. Alright, so did Van Buren say anything about? She said something about Montrose. That's the guy, what's his name? He's the director and he wrote that book, made a big splash, The Empty High Chair, about the child welfare and breaks of these. Tons of good press. Alright, so she didn't say it. So it's gotta be this.
Yeah.
No.
Well, I don't know.
He did not say that.
Many of his have been. Well, kind of, sort of.
Yeah,
he
I guess.
did.
You
I
could
mean,
twist it that
yeah.
way, I guess. All right, fine. That's pretty twisted, though.
Yeah.
None of them? You said yourself
You're
these
watching
are
Cardboard
at-risk
now?
people.
Of course. Most have struggled with
Hey,
addictions
Ginge,
of one
how
sort
are
or
ya?
another.
Hey,
But
Ginge.
each of our clients has made a commitment to turn
How's your
his or her life around.
Friday night, Saturday,
Work closely
early
with
morning.
Mrs. Bauer. We can vouch for her.
Unfit guardian.
On the evidence, I'm not so sure Mrs. Bauer should have had custody.
Do you always blame the
Evidence, just
parent for their
looking at her.
child's death, Detective? Or only when the parent is poor?
Now, wait a minute.
No, you wait a minute. People like
Uh-oh.
Jenna Bauer have had it
Sorry.
hard enough in New York just getting by. It doesn't help when the city's guardians look at them like they were moral degenerates.
Are there good reasons to question whether... Yes. Yes, there are. Pick any number of...
I know.
I admit that Miss Bauer's unfit guardian. Started wanting something now. Boom. I know. Good job, detective.
She practically bragged that she beat the kid.
You're mistaken, Detective. All of our clients are given intensive training in positive parenting.
This has got to be the worst place ever.
So
Oh my
tell me,
god,
Why
yeah.
did Miss Bauer have such a big problem with cops?
You want to hear about Jenna Bauer's problem with cops? Cops killed
Well,
Aaron's
we
father.
just got in bed with
Narco
Ginge.
squad kicked down their
Let's
door.
cuddle up
we
close
can
to
get
Ginge.
all snuggly with
Tearing the
Ginge.
office apart looking for contraband. When
He's a
Mr. Bauer
ginger.
stepped forward to defend his home, they shot him. Just another casualty of the drug war. So can you blame Mrs. Bauer for thinking maybe the story was repeating itself?
We've rocked. Look at that. Are you kidding me?
Oh man, we're just too good.
I know, this is...
I just had
Making
an
this game look
enlightening
bad.
conversation with the sheriff of Russell County, Kansas. He told me about the drug bust that killed Aaron's dad. Apparently, they found 3 pounds of meth in the house.
That's a real
Alrighty then.
Wonder if it's in the Bowers case file.
You really think Mom's the killer?
I hope my hunch is wrong, but yeah, I do.
You better hope your hunch is right. Montrose has himself a big megaphone, and he's been making a lot of noise about how you roughed up his client. What's your plan? Subpoena the boy's files?
Maybe. But first, I think we need to pay Mrs. Bauer a visit. Can we get a search warrant, just in case?
The press is still giving us grief over the way we fumbled the preppy jogger case. They're gonna crucify us if you break into this apartment and come up empty. I hope you know what you're doing.
We do.
Hey, Boog.
Hey, Boog, how's it going, buddy?
NYPD, open up. Mrs. Bauer, if you don't let us in, we're gonna have to force the door. Oh, man. What a wreck.
Yeah, really.
Ugh.
If we're lucky, she won't come back and make a scene.
I wouldn't worry about that.
Oh, man. She drank herself
Dead?
for...
Very.
I'll call dispatch. Yeah, this is Briscoe. We're on the scene at the Bauer residence, and we're gonna need an ME. Looks like a 10109. Yeah, right.
The hell's a
Lights don't
10109?
work.
Probably
No
overdose.
heat either. I'm guessing the electricity's been cut off.
I wonder how long. Wasn't Good Shepherd supposed to take care of this kind of thing?
We've got 2 victims now. Let's get a better picture of how they died and how they lived.
Oh, there's a Christmas tree. It's Christmas time.
Ah.
Alright, yeah, we know how to do this. Okay. Alright, so we need evidence of drug abuse. Jenna's cause of death. Oh, so she had pills.
Yeah,
and
pills
drinks
and
wine.
drink. That'll do it.
Source of income? What the hell is that? And Aaron's cause of death. Okay, so we're gonna look for a sharp
Okay.
object of
Yep.
some sort. Alright.
Alright.
Well, there's the drug use.
Meth pipe. Looks like Mom had a bad habit.
Guess we know who Aaron was bringing the candy for.
And knowing meth addicts, I can imagine she wasn't too compassionate when he came home without it.
Another way of saying it, she beat his ass.
Yeah.
Obviously, this is how
Yes.
she died.
Vodka bottle's empty.
And so's a bottle of Xanax. I think we found our cause of death.
Alright. Go this way. Nothing. Bunch of trash. There's the source of income.
Somebody paid Jenna Bauer $1,000 back in April. New Directions Holding Company.
I have a feeling $1,000 checks didn't show up in her mailbox all that often.
I wonder how she scored this one.
Alright, and now we need... Oh no, what's the last thing we need?
Aaron's cause of
Aaron's
death.
cause of
So
death.
something.
So something sharp.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is right there.
Oh, yep.
Wonder how this fell over.
Mrs. Talus's Statue of Liberty clock.
Yeah, I said.
Yeah.
Damn it, Lenny. Look, right there.
Blood.
I can guess whose. The poor kid comes home with this crap, and she beats him with it.
Oh.
Satisfied?
Yeah, I think our killer's gonna miss her date in court.
You think she overdosed on purpose? Out of guilt?
Maybe. She's a junkie, Ray. Don't hurt yourself trying to figure it out. Well, what do you know?
M.E.?
It's the caseworker from Good Shepherd. And she's knocking on the wrong door. Oh, hey, miss, the party's down here.
Detective Briscoe? What are you doing? Oh my god! It's Mrs. Bauer!
I'm afraid so.
Tell me, did the place look like this on Christmas Day?
Well, how should I know?
Isn't that the date of your last visit?
My last visit? I wasn't here on Christmas. Oh. I'd better call the office about this.
Dr. Montrose?
Yeah, I'm at the apartment. There's something you should know.
Dun dun dun. We've rocked that out.
I thought it was a little weird when the Montrose guy was like, she visited on Christmas Day. I was like, really?
Who visits on Christmas
What
Day?
civil
Isn't it
service
time we
worker
close the
works on
file
Christmas
that
Day?
I'd love to, believe me, but justice hasn't been done.
Poetic justice, maybe. Nobody comes away from this one looking good, including us.
What Detective Curtis is saying is, we think
Yeah,
we've got
right,
a
Jin.
case
Nothing
against
like
the Good
fitting in with the
Shepherd
holiday
agency.
season.
Against Stefan Montrose, you
Christmas
mean?
and murder.
The champion of the downtrodden?
Are you saying he's the killer?
It's actually
No, but his agency
Millennium.
failed to prevent the deaths. We
He
feel
was
he's
killed on New
responsible.
Year's Eve, 1999.
Oh, great.
Go ahead. I'm listening. Tell me why we should go after Montrose.
No, but I'm kind of out of cars. We just actually made the last payment on our car.
Woohoo!
We now own it.
Yay!
So I'm cool with it. I had, like I said, a couple cars I wanted to own. I've owned a few of them, and the other ones are too expensive, so I'm pretty good. I'm not a big car junkie. I like them. I like looking at them. I like watching shows about them, but I don't care too much about owning them. I'll kill myself. I almost killed myself in the Mustang a few times.
Yes.
They failed to monitor the situation is what they failed to do here.
Law says a child welfare agency's got to check in with clients regularly.
And Good Shepherd didn't?
Yeah, I would never oogle the characters. Come on now. You have reason to believe Good Shepherd failed? Yes. Yes, I do.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I do. Based from a Christmas event, received no memory of it. Boom.
Apparently not.
She drew a blank when we asked about her last visit.
And Montrose himself basically admitted that he ignores state procedure.
Are we going to stand by and let our social service agencies go rogue?
Jack, we don't have a case against him.
Not yet. Let's see what's in those case files.
That was easy.
Yeah.
Alright, so we're moving over to the
Here's the
law
last
side
record in
too.
the file.
What about the sensitive material from several years ago Montrose told us about?
Mysteriously missing.
Christmas
I
Day.
have no problem
That
putting
is
this guy
one
away
dedicated
forever.
caseworker.
Yeah, right.
Could the caseworker visit Jenna at their apartment on Christmas afternoon? No. I don't even know why, but I know.
I
it's
know.
not correct.
Yeah.
Aaron was atop the World Trade Center on Christmas. No, he wasn't.
But yeah.
Maybe. He wasn't
Yeah.
dead.
Because it was time the World Trade Center was
Yeah.
dead.
Spend the day. What did they spend Christmas? Where was that World Trade Center?
Yeah, I don't know. Back.
It was like at the bottom of this.
No, because that was on. Oh wait.
Was it the?
Was it on the body? No.
No,
Maybe,
it was in
was
the
it?
second place we investigated.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that isn't it.
This is where we found her.
Right. The World Trade Center ticket was back toward more. Was it on the body? Like, was it on the kid?
I thought, but it's not at the bottom of this one.
No, that was what was in the bag he stole.
Oh, on
Not-
the kid's body.
Yeah, like on the kid's body. Like. Is it up there?
Where is the? I know there was something.
Yeah,
about
it's in
the
here
World Trade
somewhere.
Center. Y2K. And no, it's not in there.
Wait, was it during the conversation with the mom? Oh, crap.
What is this? Oh, here, somebody had a sad New Year's Eve. Ricky, this is his body.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Wonder Woman.
There it is.
Top of the world. Timestamp 2 o'clock on the 25th.
Okay.
Jesus.
Yeah. Gosh.
Boom. Too much yakety yak.
That's
in
one
this.
line, caseworker. We got a ticket says Aaron Bauer was at the top of the World
feel like
Trade
I should be
Center
taking
that
notes.
afternoon.
I know.
This report's a complete fabrication, no question. But who do we indict? Simplest thing would be to go after the caseworker, but
Montrose says he prefers to be the point of contact with the city.
then let's
You're not
give him
gonna
what he
fall
wants.
for the banana in the tailpipe? Please tell me somebody gets that reference. Otherwise, then I'm really old. Alright, we rocked that one out.
Woohoo!
Here we go. We're gonna start switching over to order.
Throughout
Yeah.
his career, Stefan Montrose has continually shone a light on the system's indifference to its most vulnerable citizens. Tuesday afternoon, the system struck back.
We know what the columns are saying, Miss Jameson. We intend to prove that Dr. Montrose is guilty as charged.
Manslaughter with gross negligence?
Yes.
In addition to one count of falsification of records with intent to deceive.
I'm afraid you won't get the chance to present those records in court. I'm filing a motion to suppress.
Damn you.
Paperwork went through the day before the subpoena was served. Good Shepherd is no longer run by the Archdiocese of New York. It's now an entirely private agency, administered through Dr. Montrose's holding company, New Directions.
So you propose to throw out the evidence because we put the wrong address on the subpoena? Of all the underhanded ploys.
Oh, technicality.
Hell
Argument
yeah.
is technically correct. Improper service of a subpoena invalidates admissibility. The court finds for the motion.
It's bullshit.
Fine. We'll proceed without it.
That's some bullshit.
That is.
Dr. Montrose, we've heard in graphic detail about the final days of Aaron Bauer. It's natural to feel pity and perhaps even outrage over the manner in which he died. So tell the court, are you in fact
No, Boo,
guilty
you're
of
the
gross
first.
negligence?
Surprisingly,
No,
you're the
I am
first.
not.
That's
Let me
awesome.
read you a quote. Neglect is built into our current welfare system. The client is a mere asset to be kept or traded as it benefits the agency.
Ah, you're reading to me from my own book, The Empty High Chair, published last spring. My agency is different.
Indeed, Good Shepherd is distinguished for treating its clients with dignity, as individuals with needs. Isn't that right?
Wow, she's like testifying.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's.
Or leading one or the other or something like that. I don't know.
Objection!
I think
Leading?
Leading. Defense is giving a speech for her client.
Yes.
Sustained. Let's concentrate on the facts of this case, shall we?
Were you
Yeah.
personally involved in the case of Aaron Bauer?
I involve myself personally in every one of my cases, and this was especially true with respect to Aaron.
How so?
When the Bowers first came to my attention, Aaron had been taken into state custody and shut away inside City Youth Home. I know that institution well. I spent my own formative years there. Nobody
Well, did
deserves
you,
to go
Will?
to City Youth Home. Nobody.
And yet, despite your personal involvement in this case, Aaron Bauer was killed. How do you explain this?
One word: drugs. First it was the crack epidemic. Now, just as that's beginning to subside, an even worse plague is sweeping through New York.
You
It's a
maybe
plague
could have
that
went to the
destroys
kid's house
mostly
once in a while.
those on the margins. So it's easy for the rest of us to ignore.
Do you have some ideas for addressing this problem?
We're going tomorrow, Spud. We're so excited. Well, I'm excited. I think Curly's kind of excited.
I am excited. I like Star
She's
Wars.
not the hugest Star Wars.
Yeah, I like it just for the I like them. I'm not
Yeah,
like
yeah,
a
yeah.
huge fan or fangirl or something, but yeah, I like them. It's a lot of nostalgia for me
I'm
too.
hoping she
but-
dresses up as Leia today.
I don't even know what this lady said.
I
so-
probably would like to object. Do you have
Yeah.
some ideas for addressing this problem? Yeah, I mean, this is not even relevant. Yes, I would
Objection.
object. Immaterial. Come on now.
Immaterial. The defendant is changing the subject.
Sustained. Please strike that last statement from the testimony. New York City is not on trial here.
Jenna Bauer lapsed back into addiction unbeknownst to you, although your caseworker visited her as recently as Christmas Day.
I'm afraid that's correct. In
What?
spite
No,
of our
it's not.
vigilance, in spite of intensive therapy,
She didn't
the
visit.
siren call
Yeah.
of crystal meth proved too much for her. And once she began using again, she quickly became a danger to her son.
How did she manage to pull the wool over your eyes?
It's one of the most insidious aspects of the syndrome.
Cur-
I've seen it
Curly
many
just
times.
sitting next to me
The
is a
addict puts up a
distraction.
false front of normalcy. A front that can fool
You can't
even
see
a
where her
trained
hands
observer.
are. Yes, I wanted to object 5 minutes ago when he said someone visited as recently as Christmas. I've seen it many times. The addict puts up a false front. He's not an expert in any way whatsoever.
Objection.
No expert standing.
No expert standing.
Your Honor, Dr. Montrose is director of a licensed
Oh,
welfare
Pig is here.
agency.
Pig, you were the only
He
one
holds
that
a
would have gotten that
PhD in
movie
social
reference.
work
Where
from
were you
Cornell.
earlier?
He is eminently
Nobody else
qualified
obviously
to
got it.
comment on the behavior of addicts.
Agreed. Objection
Oh.
overruled.
One last
You're
question.
overruled.
Has this
What?
tragedy caused you to re-examine your practice?
Naturally, we're thoroughly reviewing our procedures. We exist to serve our clients. The death of one impoverishes us all.
Of course. Thank you, Dr. Montrose. Your witness, Mr. McCoy.
Jury's on the fence. Overall, the jury's on the fence. Uh-oh. We got a long haul here.
That's no good.
Pig.
Dr.
The
Montrose.
movie reference is, quote, "You're not going to fall for the banana in the tailpipe," unquote. Please. Tell me there's still people out there that watch good movies. Okay. So we're going to nail this guy to the friggin' wall. I don't want to talk about his youth. I want to talk about him endangering Aaron.
Your agency advocated for Jenna Bauer in her bid to regain custody of her son, Aaron.
Thank you, Pig.
In
All
retrospect,
is well in
was
the
this in
world.
Aaron's best interest?
He didn't even
Considering his
have to
fate,
like think about it, I
the
hope.
answer has to be no. But hindsight is always 20/20.
At the time, you believed the opposite to be self-evident, right? Every mother deserves to retain the custody of her children?
We weighed the pros and cons of Jenna Bauer's case, and we came to the conclusion that she deserved a second chance. Perhaps if we'd had more facts at our disposal, we would have agreed with the city's
Forgot the word classic in there, Spud. Probably not. His fate, the answer has to be no, but hindsight is always 20/20. Has to be self-evident, right? Every mother deserves it. In the convention, perhaps we made more facts of it. No, yeah, I do. No, it's not. Much ago, they fought against giving Jerry Barry. Much earlier, they took up Jennifer's petition without thinking. Yeah, the alternative for Aaron. Yeah, he said that.
Mm-hmm.
Cha-ching.
In this case,
But if it's
the
an 80s
alternative
film, I
was
saw it
placing Aaron in
probably
city
multiple
youth homes.
times.
Yeah.
You simply didn't want him there. Dr. Montrose,
Their
have you
entire
ever
days,
signed off
Curly
on
and I
moving
will
a
talk to
child
each
from
other
his
in
parents'
movie
custody
references.
into the institutional foster
And know
care
exactly
system?
what we're talking about.
No.
You've stated that your work is your life.
Yes?
If that's so, where did you find the time to write and publicize a book?
Objection. Immaterial.
Sustained.
Where was he trying to go with this?
I don't know. We screwed it up.
State guidelines for social
still
welfare
winning the
agencies
jury a little
mandate
bit, though.
one home visit per month at the very least.
You needn't lecture me. I'm well acquainted with state guidelines.
Do you follow them?
Yes, Mr. McCoy.
Objection.
We follow the state guidelines meticulously.
Good Shepherd didn't have its own guidelines?
Hey,
No.
Shane, how are ya?
Hey, Shane, how's it going, buddy? No, I don't believe him. At all. Oh, yeah, so we're going to end there. We're not even going to finish this episode. Oh, hi, Shane. How are you, buddy? Shane is known for getting he comes in the caster ends.
Oh, God.
He's showing up at the end of a couple casts. It's funny. It's called getting shamed.
Is that like getting rickrolled or something?
Yeah, really. He said something about guidelines.
Oh, Mr. Curly. I like that, babe. You're Mr. Curly.
Oh, I'm Mr. Curly? Oh, God. I'm not high on Shane's list anymore. I'm familiar. Can't even know. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. Independent. No, wait a minute, people. Just go like more degenerates. Expensive material. Here we go. They tell you they're only going to follow the state guideline, but it's really, they love. They could chip away from me. The same goes double for them. I stay from all pure, sacred, and secular. Sometimes it's powerful, but it hates to look bad. I know it look bad. That's. Damn it! I don't know what.
Well, Montrose told the agency that it has its own guidelines. No.
Did he testify to that earlier? Is that in here? That's in here.
Because it's an entirely private company.
They're at the other. No. My agency is different. Am I personally okay in this situation when they Not sure we're thoroughly reviewing our procedures. I think they make up their own.
Yeah, I guess.
Alright.
Yeah, that's what I would guess.
Didn't you tell the detectives that Good Shepherd makes its own guidelines?
You're right, Spud. If it wasn't for Curly, I'd forget where I was.
Think back, Dr.
She points me in the right direction.
It was during the same interview in which you refused to turn
Somebody's
over
gotta
Aaron
do
Bauer's
it,
case
baby.
files. In clear violation of standard procedure.
Objection. Immaterial.
It goes to credibility, Your Honor.
Overruled.
But if it has to do with numbers,
Deny
it
that
goes
our
to
agency
me.
operates
Yes,
according
that's
to
true. I'm
unique procedures.
not
but
a math person.
If anything, our guidelines are more comprehensive than the state's.
All right, visitation report.
When did your caseworker last visit the Bowers?
She filed a visitation report Christmas Day.
About that report, did you notice any inconsistencies that might...
Objection. Prosecution is attempting to solicit testimony about a piece of evidence that has been ruled inadmissible.
Objection sustained. You should know better, Mr. McCoy.
What? Oh, it was inadmissible.
Yeah.
That's right. Oh, crap.
Uh-oh.
Damn it.
Uh-oh.
You've heard Detective Curtis's account of
Judge
what he
is gonna
found
be
in Jenna
pissed.
Bauer's
Whoopsie.
apartment, and you've
You're
seen
gonna
the
be spending
pictures.
the night in contempt.
I know,
Indeed,
right?
I have. What can I say? A
I just
problem.
remember something about
I
it. We
know.
knew that she
Until
didn't
this
go.
very morning, when my
I forgot
counsel
we were
showed me the
supposed to bring it up.
pictures.
I'd be a horrible lawyer.
Oh, I know, right?
Is it plausible that Dr. Montrose had no idea of the state of the Bauer apartment before now? No, I don't think it is. Because I do actually think it is, but I think the case.
I know.
Because we want to nail this guy to the wall, right? What do you think? What do you say? Indeed, what can I say, Upon? I had no idea this very morning what counsel showed me. Till this very morning, you're bullshitting right now. No, it's not. Caseworker called Montrose from the apartment. Yeah, she did.
Yes.
Well,
Well, she called the office. We know she did talk to him.
Detectives left. Yeah. That's right, Shane. You
We
saw
know
it.
your caseworker, Ms.
I hope it was
Schuyler,
good.
briefed
Don't
you
say
after
anything,
Mrs.
please.
Bauer's body was discovered.
Well, yes, of course. But
5:30
it
a.m.
takes
you
a
saw
picture
that.
to
Wow.
really
That's
the
some
situation.
freaking.
You're the expert, Dr.
That's some
Montrose.
balls.
That's
Do you
that's
think
a
it's
fan.
possible for conditions to degenerate that rapidly?
He is
in
But hey,
mere
good for
8
you. As long
days?
as it was fun, go for
Yeah,
it.
hey.
Possible, I suppose. But I have to admit, if I were an outside observer, I'd find it a difficult story to swallow. Indeed, if it weren't for my faith in my employer, Miss Schuyler, I'd be inclined to think it was a story.
Really? No further questions, Your Honor.
All right. Jury likes our case.
Defense calls Wanda Schuyler to the witness stand. I know this is difficult for you, Miss Schuyler, but I want you to recall for us the moment you stepped into Jenna Bauer's apartment on January 1st.
Yeah, I can
It
respect that,
was-
Shane.
It was like stepping off a cliff, you know?
Because
There
of
you
your
go.
feelings for Mrs. Bauer, you mean?
Was the
because
theater
you cared
filled,
about her
Shane?
so much?
I'd be interested to know
Oh,
if the theater was
that's-
filled. Because you're feeling for Miss Barry, you mean because you care. Yeah, you're leading.
Yeah.
Objection!
Leading.
Leading?
Sustained.
Would you say you had a personal connection with Aaron Bauer?
Yes, I did. Aaron, he was a
I'll go
great
with you,
kid.
Spud.
Talented, you know.
I would love to
He
make
wanted to
bad
be a
jokes
comic
with
book
it.
artist when he grew up.
That's what I do in
He and I
movies.
had a little private game where he
myself.
pretended I was a superhero.
But he didn't say or do anything in the last few months to indicate his home life was deteriorating?
No, you know how boys can be at his age. Stoic. He probably thought it would be unmanly or disloyal to tattle on his mom.
There was maybe 15 to 20 people, and it was the IMAX ones. That's one of the larger ones at the cinema. Oh, that's cool. So it's some room and stuff. So it was barely
She's
filled.
not-
Did everybody get up and applause at the end? Like 15 people.
Yeah,
just standing
right.
Up and was there a guy that looked like he's been there since Wednesday, watching it over and over?
Oh,
and over
God.
again? We have one of the better IMAXs here because I read an article that Star Wars is being shown on. I think it was a weird article. It said it was being shown on like 75 theaters in the world that were either one showing it in the format Abrams filmed it in, which is like 90 millimeter or something, or 75 millimeter or something. Or we're showing it in the best IMAX available, which is laser IMAX. And that Udvar Hazy Smithsonian IMAX is a laser IMAX. It's one of
Oh,
those
yeah.
theaters.
Yeah, that theater is crazy.
So I looked, when I was getting tickets, I looked for that. I think it's booked for like weeks.
Oh, it probably
for
is.
Star Wars. So we're going to see it in a regular theater. I would probably like to object. Say or
I don't
do
think
anything
she's an
less you must
expert, or
indicate.
it's here. I don't know.
They, you know how boys can be at his age stoic. I thought it would be unmanly, so it's tattle on his mom. She has no idea.
Objection!
Hearsay, actually. Or
No, speculation.
The witness is speculating about the victim's motivations.
Sustained. Please confine yourself to your own impressions.
How long have you been employed with Good Shepherd, Miss Schuyler?
It'll be.
If
3 years
anyone
in April.
clapped, you would smash
and in
their
that
face
time,
in.
has Dr. Montrose
I
ever
remember everyone
encouraged you to be
at the
negligent in your
prequels
duties?
clapping, and that
Not
movie
at
was
all,
crap,
no.
dude.
Dr. Montrose is
The
an
first one.
inspiration.
It's the only,
He
I
knows
saw all three in the
firsthand how
theater.
broken the system is, and he's completely passionate about
The
reforming
third
it.
one people clapped, and I was
it's
okay with
energizing.
that because
I
it had a
really
pretty
wish-
good ending to it.
I just wish this hadn't happened to him. I mean, to all of us.
Of course. We all do. Your witness.
And I was more clapping at the end of the third prequel because I was just like, thank God these prequels are over. George Lucas, get away from this movie franchise, please. right, we're ahead by 50. We're landsliding this.
Miss Schuyler, Dr. Montrose has testified that you visited the Bowers in their apartment on Christmas Day. At that time, did you
I love it when
find
people
any
say
indications that Jenna Bauer
something
had
like,
lapsed back into
you
an
know,
addiction
you're
to crystal
really
meth?
crazy. No offense.
I didn't see any.
I know.
I never made that visit. I don't have an excuse.
She
I
broke
simply
down.
failed to do my job.
We can get it in
and then I
evidence
faked
now.
The report
Yep.
after the fact to cover up. I'm sorry, Dr. Montrose.
Oh, she's taking the fall for it, maybe?
Maybe.
That's not what you said at the deposition. Are you changing your testimony, Miss Schuyler?
I guess so.
Were you briefed about
I
this?
guess so.
Your Honor,
What kind of answer is
prosecution
that?
wasn't prepared for this development. We petitioned the court for a continuance.
Petition granted. We will resume trial next week.
This case has just taken a turn for the worse. The jury doesn't know what to make of Wanda Schuyler's testimony. To win it over, you'll need to convince the witness to change sides.
Ooh.
I've been at the bar 30 years, Miss Jameson, but I don't think I've ever witnessed such a blatantly unethical maneuver. Instructing a witness to change her testimony without altering the deposition.
You have no grounds for accusing me of complicity.
You'd better hope I don't find any. Now,
Damn.
why are you
Boy, he's
protecting
pissed.
Dr. Montrose?
Don't let yourself be intimidated, Miss Schuyler. You don't have to answer anything.
No, but you do have to go to jail if you're found guilty of falsifying documents.
We need you to come clean. Please.
Okay, so do we want to appeal to her principles, self-interest, or Aaron's memory? Probably Aaron's memory.
Yeah, I'd say either principles or Aaron's memory.
Yeah, I don't think self-interest. She
No.
doesn't seem like that type of chick. Oh, Aaron's memory probably.
If you're telling the truth about forging that report, then you must have lied when you said you cared about Aaron.
That's not true. I did care. We had a bond.
Do you believe her? Sure. I wanted to
Well,
come
then
to our
why
side,
why
but-
did she like? I don't know. I guess I don't have any reason not to. I guess.
Woohoo! We're trying to win her to our side,
Yeah.
so I assume.
The draw,
Wonder
that's
Woman.
right, yeah.
Ah, now I put it together.
Yep.
Aaron was too chummy. Wonder Woman.
Why would you neglect your duties towards someone you care about?
She wanted to nonce him. Wonder Woman.
You mentioned on the stand something about a private game between you and Aaron.
Oh, so nonce
It was
isn't
just a
just a
silly
noun;
joke.
it's also
It
a
didn't
verb.
mean
It's that
anything.
It
kind
did to
Yeah,
him,
it's
I
one of
think.
those all-purpose pedophile words.
Yeah.
You were his hero, but you failed.
You have to understand.
We
Wanda,
got her.
be
We got her,
quiet.
babe.
I can't. You know I believe in Dr. Montrose, but I just can't. You'd better go.
I represent you.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. You're fired.
Now,
Need to do it like
what's
Vincent
the real
Kennedy
story?
McMahon.
Oh God.
You're fired. He does do it well.
He does.
Does it better than Trump.
Oh God. Please don't mention that name.
Miss Schuyler, I hold here
He was
your
fine when he
personal
was just the
copy
host
of
of
a
Celebrity
visitation
Apprentice.
report.
Oh God, yeah,
dated
that was
December
enough for me.
25th,
I'm like, I didn't
signed by
even
you
want to
and
hear
Dr.
about him
Montrose.
then. I was just like, oh my God, I'm so tired of hearing
All
about
right,
him.
so we got to get this jury on our side. So let's
Did you write this report?
work this woman over.
No,
Who did?
Dr. Montrose.
But this is your signature.
Yes.
New topics. Why did you sign?
If you didn't write this report, why did you put your name on it?
He said, Dr. Montrose told me the city wanted to use the Bauer tragedy as a pretext for legal action, taking over the agency. Putting my name on that document was the only way to save it.
Does the story fit with the evidence? It seems so, yes.
I don't know. Like,
'Cause I remember he said something about the state trying to take it over.
Oh yeah, you're right.
So I think so, yeah.
I guess.
Schiff told McCoy the city wants to take over. Defense attorney announced a public agency. Miss Bauer expressed concern to job as kind. Dr. Man told Detective
that one.
Yeah, exactly. Boom, I remember things. Excellent work, counselor. When was your last
When
visit?
did you last visit Jenna and Aaron Bauer?
Last spring? 8 months ago.
Something relevant happened last spring?
Oh, was that when the dad was killed in Kansas or whatever? Maybe.
The Bowers arrived.
Oh, the book. I think when he was testifying, he said it was published last spring.
Yes, good job.
Just
Excellent
after
work,
Dr.
Curly.
Montrose's book was
thanks, my
published.
baby.
Yes, and that's when things started getting really crazy for all of us. We were flooded with new clients. There was no way we could keep up with them. And then one day, Dr. Montrose called us into his office and told us about his new early graduation program.
Early graduation program?
Nice.
Tell us about Dr. Montrose's early graduation program.
He said he determined that a number of our clients no longer needed our services.
Oh.
According to state guidelines.
No, according to his own guidelines. He called them his early graduates. He mailed each of them a certificate and a one-time payment of $1,000 in exchange for...
In exchange for them keeping quiet.
Yes.
Dun,
Your
dun,
witness.
dun.
We need to talk.
Thanks, Jen.
We won by 40. We are ahead. They like our case a little bit. We're killing
A
them.
little bit. We're kicking
Ready to
ass.
cut a
Look,
deal?
they want a deal.
My fate is immaterial, Mr. McCoy. My sole concern is to keep the reform movement from falling apart.
Oh, whatever.
Very noble. What are
You're
you
out for
proposing?
self-interest.
Dr. Montrose pleads to negligence and serves a 12-month probation. He agrees to step aside and allow an acting director to run Good Shepherd for the length of the term.
Oh, what an example of self-sacrifice that is. I've got a better idea, Dr. Montrose.
Manslaughter. Or gross negligence. Are we cool with gross negligence?
I mean,
he didn't get the mom
right.
killed the kid.
Right.
Gross negligence.
I think so.
Is probably what
Gross
we'd
negligence,
offer.
4 years, and a $10,000 fine for falsifying documents. You step away from Good Shepherd permanently. The courts will appoint the next director.
Just walk away? Permanently? Mr. McCoy, that agency is my mission.
Sorry,
And
dude.
maybe the time
Should've
has
thought about
come when
that.
that mission can be carried on more effectively by someone else.
It's a good offer, Dr. Montrose. Think
It
about
is.
it.
Being quite nice.
Dr. Montrose
Damn
has
Skippy.
devoted his life to helping those who have been
Why,
failed
he didn't
by
take
the
the
system.
deal?
But some, sadly, are
Wow.
beyond help. And sometimes a good agency
He's
can
gonna
be
fry.
undone by the actions of one dishonest employee. If Wanda Schuyler hadn't failed to
Oh, you're trying to
discharge her
throw it on
duties
Wanda
and then
Schuyler?
compounded
Wow.
her failure
Wow,
with lies,
come on
might
now.
Good Shepherd have been able to save Jenna and Aaron
Last
Bauer?
ditch effort in it.
We'll never know. It's a bitter irony that a champion of reform should fail to spot the corruption among his own staff. He can be faulted, perhaps, for being too trusting, too optimistic about human nature. Surely this is no crime. But if my client is convicted of these charges, if he's sent to jail,
I'm
and his
sure there's
reform
this.
movement
I've
is
never
crushed
served on
by
a
the
jury,
powers that be,
but I am
it will
sure
be
there's
more
come
than a
points in
crime.
time when
It will
people in
be
the
an
jury just want to
outrage.
stand up and go, "That's some bullshit. Let's just get the fuck up out of here,"
I'm
because
just
you all
wondering
are full
I'm
of
just
it.
wondering if it's sometimes some defense attorneys he's saying words and half the time they gotta be like, I don't even believe what I'm saying.
Exactly.
He's a what? Destabilizing gadfly?
What the hell is a
hell
gadfly?
Is that? He abandoned his clients.
Yeah, with the early graduation thing, I guess.
Yeah.
Dr. Montrose made his name arguing that our welfare system treats its clients like numbers. He proposed to treat them with dignity as individuals. His message resonated with millions, and he became famous. But the demands of celebrity caused him to neglect his own principles. In the
He is a
end,
scumbag.
his own clients were reduced to
Damn
numbers.
right.
Numbers on checks.
Yeah, they love us. His agenda also blinded him,
Yes.
I think.
Children belong with their parents. This is a sentiment that resonates with us, and we can be grateful that Dr. Montrose's advocacy has helped push our welfare system to take the claims of parents more seriously. But not every individual case conforms to the ideal. In the case of Jenna and Aaron Bauer, the defendant's ideals blinded him to the realities of the case and led him to make a serious error.
A serious error. He panicked and covered his tracks.
The deaths of Aaron and Jenna Bauer left Dr. Montrose with a terrible decision to make. He could acknowledge his agency's mistake, but this would compromise his moral authority as a
You're
public
going
advocate.
away.
Or he could
It's all
cover
about
up
the
the evidence
numbers,
of his
Spud.
neglect and perhaps preserve his reputation at the expense of
What are
his
we,
integrity.
4 away from webcam,
Dr. Montrose
Spud?
chose the less
Hurley's
noble
even looking
expedient.
forward to that.